On this episode of Heat of the Drum, we're doing country style ribs with a sweet heat rub, finished off with crushed pineapple, apple juice, and some Apple Habanero BBQ Sauce. Stick around. And welcome back to another episode of Heat of the Drum. Today we're doing country style ribs. What I have here is a sweet heat rub that I like to make and put on ribs, and we're going to make that from scratch. Then once we put them in the tin and wrap them, about halfway through the cooking process, we're going to use some apple juice, some crushed pineapple, and then we're going to also hit them with this Apple Habanero BBQ Sauce, playing off that sweet heat. This is made by Head Country, so we're going to give that a try on there. Did score me a new knife here that I'm going to try out today, so we're going to see how well this does also. This is made by Victorinox, and we'll give that a try. We're going to trim up these country style ribs just a little bit, get some of this fat off of here. And we just want to trim them up a little bit. We ain't going to get too crazy. Oh, they are slippery. And I'm just trying to get some of this hard fat off of here. Kind of like that. And you can kind of see this one here has probably the biggest fat chunk on it, probably out of all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get that off of there. And obviously some of this will render down. We're just trying to get the majority of this hard fat off. This right here, that'll render. And that guy looks pretty good. Okay, let's talk about this rub. This is my sweet heat rub. So what I have here is a 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, 4 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon chipotle chili pepper, 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon ground black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of just plain old salt. And let's get those all combined together. And we'll go ahead and mix that all together. And we just want to thoroughly mix it. Try to get the big chunks of the light brown sugar busted up the best you can. And it'll look like that. Now let's get the rub on these country style ribs. That's the way to do it, just to pick them up. Really get this in there. Obviously, this little guy here is going to cook up a lot faster than the other one, so I'll keep my eye on him, but we're going to cook him anyway. You can see what the color that rub already starts putting on those. And there you have it. They're all seasoned, ready to go. We're going to put these back in the fridge and let it sweat out for about an hour. Give me time to get out there, get the smoker ready, and fired up and up to temp. We're going to be looking at about 270 to 280 is our target temp today. And we're going to cook them for a couple hours, and then they're going to end up in one of these tins, like I said, with the apple juice, the crushed pineapple, and a little bit of our Apple Habanero BBQ Sauce. And then once they finish in the tin, we'll take them out, we'll glaze them up with more of the Apple Habanero BBQ Sauce and finish them off that way. So in the fridge with these, and we're going out to the smoker. Okay, this is where I like to take a moment and just thank everybody who's liked, subscribed, and watched the videos. And I'm going to keep them coming. Hopefully I can teach you something about a drum smoker and things, give you ideas, and maybe some recipes that you can use. And like I said, there's some things we're going to learn along the way together probably. So right now, it's kind of windy out here today. But it shouldn't be an issue. I got these tarps up around my smoke shack here. That's going to help protect the smoker from some wind. And let's go ahead and get her prepped and ready to go. So we got our basket loaded. I got a mixture of Kingsford briquettes, and right now I'm using Cowboy Oak and Hickory Blend lump charcoal, which I kind of mix the two in my basket here. I do the same thing in my chimney, about 3/4 of the way full. And then what I did is I put in some apple chunks. Help go along with that sweet theme, sweet spicy theme we're going with today. So let's get it in the smoker and let's get this chimney going. And I'll put my grate down on the second level. Windy out here today. And we'll let this go for about 15 minutes. Then we'll dump her on in. Okay, we have flame. Let's go ahead and get her dumped. And we put in our restrictor level, our restrictor plate, followed up by a bowl of hot water. And we'll be cooking on the top grate, so we're going to go ahead and get that in. And what I'll do is I'll leave this lid off for about 10 minutes. Then we'll work on getting the lid on and get our baffle set and letting this thing get up to temp. Okay, I'm going to take the time to go ahead and get my thermometer in this top level. That's where I usually like to put it. So go ahead and get that guy in there. It's been 10 minutes. I'm putting the lid on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this thermometer. Our target temp today is 275, so give or take in that area. So I'm going to watch this. When this hits about 290, it just hit 290. We're going to go ahead and baffle. And we're going for about 7/16 of an inch today. So we're going to go ahead and get that dialed in. And that looks like 7/16 to me. Okay, so I'm going to let this go for another 25 minutes. It'll give this smoker time to get the dirty smoke out, start running more efficient, and then we'll be putting the meat on. Okay, it's time to get these on. They've been sweating out for about an hour in the fridge, and now it's time. Now what I've done is I've put my probe in there, my temperature probe in one, so I can keep track of these right from the get-go. I'm going to put this little guy in the center because he's going to get done faster than anybody. So I'm going to try to protect him a little bit. Let me set this down. Get this guy like this. Get him like that. And we'll get this plugged in. Now what I'm looking for is between 150 and 160-ish, right around there. And that should take, could be an hour and a half, could be 2 hours, could be a little more, just give or take. That's the temperature range I'm looking for on these. Once we get that, we're going to get them wrapped in a tin with our other ingredients and continue cooking. It's been about an hour and 35 minutes. And if you look here, our meat is now 156 and our smoker is running 257. Now remember, I talked about our target temp being 270 to 280 on the smoker. But I always talk about that 20-degree swing, that it can go either way. We're a little low, but I'm not worried about it because trust me, it's coming up. So the meat is 156. We're going to go ahead and take it off, and then we're going to go in there and wrap it and put the rest of our ingredients in there. Let's get them off. And look at these bad boys. Nice color. Ooh-wee. This little guy here, he's going to be a little bit more done than these bigger guys, but that's all right. I'll eat him anyway. Let's take him inside. Okay, we're back inside, so let's get our tin ready for these ribs. Now what I have here is, this is a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, so we're going to open him up and dump the whole can in here. Just like that. Then I have here, this is a 48-ounce jug of apple juice, and I'm not going to use this whole thing. We'll get that open. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do, now that we got the pineapple in there, we're going to nestle these guys right down in there. This little guy's just going to kind of go there. And then we'll get this guy over here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this apple juice. And really, it doesn't take much. Right there. That's all I want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this Head Country Apple Habanero. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit across the top of these guys. Nothing too crazy. And that'll start getting these guys flavored up real nice. Right there. Because remember, these are going to be glazed later on. Now what I'm going to do is put my foil on top of this. And then I'm going to go right back in that big one in the center right there. Kind of like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this back on the smoker. And we're looking about 205 temperature-wise on these country-style ribs. And then we're going to start the glazing process. So let's get them back out there. And now we'll just let it do its thing. At 205, we'll take a look at them. Okay, so we just hit 205. Let's take a look at these. I'm going to go ahead and open these up. Look at that, man. It's bubbling away. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Ooh, look at that. That's like butter right there. Oh, yeah. Let's get a temperature here. Even on this big guy right here, we're 204. We're taking them out. Let's baste them. What I'm going to do is go ahead and take them out and just set them on this tray over here. And I'll just kind of hang onto this tray and I'll set them back on there. Oh, man. These things are tender. Look at that. Now what I have here is that Apple Habanero BBQ sauce that we're now going to glaze these with. And this is going to take these to the next level. Even this little guy, he's happy to get some. And now we're just going to let that cook on there for 4 or 5 minutes. And then we're going to flip it, hit that side, and then we'll be taking these things off. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh yeah, those are looking really nice. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just give them a flip. This guy here, this little guy, he's hung in there for the whole cook. He's getting ate no matter what. And we're going to go ahead and glaze this side. In a few more minutes, these are coming off. I'm going to let this go about 3 more minutes, and they're coming off. Okay, it's time. Let's get them off. Oh man, these look really good. Oh man, that one there, it's got my name written all over it. Let's get them inside. And now we got them inside, we're going to go ahead and wrap them for about 5 minutes. And it's just more or less a foil tent. We're just going to kind of tent them. That's all I'm going to do right there. All right, there's nothing left to do now but try these. But before I do, let me recap just real quick. First, we made a rub. We got our smoker up to 270, 280, right around in there was our target temp. We cooked the ribs for about a little over an hour and a half, about an hour and 35 minutes. And then we wrapped, and they were 155 internal at that point. That's when we wrapped them. We put them in the tin with the crushed pineapple, apple juice, and just a little bit of the barbecue sauce sprinkled across the top right there. Once we wrapped them, we put them back on the smoker. It went for about another hour and 45 minutes. It got up to 205. Once that happened, we took them out of the tin. Then we started our glazing process. We glazed the one side, let it go for about 5 minutes, flipped it over, glazed the other side, and let it go for about 3 minutes. Then we pulled them off. And now it's the time you've all been waiting for, and especially me. I'm ready to try these things. So let's just get on in here and give it a try. And here we go. I want this guy right here. Oh man. Oh. Look at that. I'll tell you what. This will just pull right apart. Look at that. Oh man, this is so tender. You would not believe it. I'll tell you what. That is really good. Until I see you again the next time on Heat of the Drum, you can do this too. We'll see you next time.